Ladies and gentlemen, Fragrance Master here. Today, I've got the biggest comparison of them all. We will be comparing the Parfums de Marly's house versus the Creed house. Perhaps one of my most requested comparisons. I've got a lot of people asking me, hey, Fragrance Master, which should I go with, Parfums de Marly or Creed? Don't you worry. Today I will be telling you which one you should get, and we'll be doing a little comparison between both houses. So let's start off by just saying that both of these houses do two different things. Parfums de Marly has mastered sweet and Creed has mastered fresh, with the exception of Aventus all year round. I love them both. You know, it's very hard for me to pick one. This video is perhaps one of the hardest comparisons to do. It's really hard to pick one because I love both houses and I like to use both houses for different things. Let's start off with Parfums de Marly. We'll talk a little bit about it as a house. Very popular for Layton, Carlisle, Greenlee, Percival, Herod. A lot of those scents are very popular and it seems to be their best seller. Now, what do those scents all have in common? They're all sweet scents. Of course, Percival and Greenlee are considered fresh, but even though they are fresh, I still get a little sweetness from them as well. Except Percival, that one's mostly a freshie. The one thing I do have to say about Parfums de Marly that I've noticed is the house itself has this specific DNA that if you own more than one Parfums de Marly, you'll be able to catch it. It's this specific base DNA which almost makes them all smell very similar. Take for example Layton, Herod, Carlisle. They all smell different, but they have a similar note in there, which almost all of them do. So personally, I would lean more towards Parfums de Marly if you are into sweeter fragrances. Parfums de Marly has great projection, they have great sillage, and they're going to get you compliments. I would go with Parfums de Marly if you're more into sweeter fragrances. Now, let's talk about the Creed house. This is probably the most popular fragrance house in the niche world. Perhaps maybe most of you and all of you have heard of this house. Very famous for Aventus, Green Irish Tweed, Arolfa, Silver Mountain Water, Virgin Island Water, so on and so forth. I'm gonna be straight up honest and tell you guys, Creed to me is a better house than Parfums de Marly, and I am saying that because they are the ones who made Aventus, which is the most popular and most sold niche fragrance of all time. Nobody can argue that, but you can't be the best if you don't have the best. And Parfums de Marly doesn't have the best fragrance of all time or the best seller of all time, so in that category you have to admit that Creed is the GOAT. But like I said, Parfums de Marly is better in the sweet department. Creed is better in the fresh department. Arolfa, Silver Mountain Water, Virgin Island Water. All of those fragrances are all very fresh and you can wear them in the summertime. Now, of course, Creed also has great sillage, great performance. I suggest you let your bottles age a little bit before wearing. Now, of course, Creed also has great sillage and great performance. A lot of people say that they can't really smell Creed or that it doesn't last on them, but unfortunately, this is the fragrance that we all go nose blind to. Everybody that wears Creed is going to get nose blind from it because it contains ambroxan and many other notes that do that to you. So, gentlemen, please do not be scared if you cannot smell Aventus. It is there and we can all smell it. I've had instances with Aventus or other Creed fragrances where, mostly with Aventus, that I spread it on, I couldn't smell it, and 10 to 15 hours later I got compliments. Alright, so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, which house is better? I have to say Creed because it has my favorite fragrance, but if you like sweet, go with Parfums de Marly. If you like fresh, go with Creed. I do have to say, I would recommend you get both so you have two fragrances. I would wear Parfums de Marly on a date or at a nighttime activity, and I would wear Creed to a daytime activity at work or during those hot summer days. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. It means a lot to me. We will be doing another giveaway soon, and please subscribe.